Well, this is a bit of a milestone. We made it to the North Carolina border. Yeah, buddy.
I got to twerk, hon.
You got twerk. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nate and Elizabeth gonna puke.
I'm gonna puke.
I mean, everybody's gonna puke. Well, we're now officially in North Carolina. It took us 5.5 hours to do 8 miles, which, believe it or not, is slow for us. We're not feeling it today. Everything's difficult. But we will press on and maybe do a couple more miles. It's almost 3 in the afternoon. Every mile we do today, we don't have to do later on. There's another icon on the AT. This is just beyond the Georgia-North Carolina borders. They call it the Tree of Life. It's probably a pretty gnarly looking tree, but it's been here a long time. This is the campsite that we are passing up to try to press on and get a couple more miles in. Well, this is as far as we made it on day 7. We went 10 miles. We crossed into North Carolina. We got this site here. It's an old stealth site. Nobody's been here for a while. It's about 7 o'clock at night. The sun's over there. We're in a very windy spot. Probably not a good place to camp because it's very cold. But we got tired and we said, hey, rather than risk injury, we'll just hunker down for the night here. We got the bear bag hung over there. It's a lot closer than it looks in this video. And as you can hear and see, the wind's blowing. I hope it calms down because it's going to be cold tonight. Going to be in the low 30s. Well, it's a little after 7 on day 8. Waking up is really chilly. Hi. Well, good morning, grandchildren. We've made it to the first kind of a view. That's what it looks like. This little prominence here doesn't have a name, so I'm going to call it Nate's Nubble. And this view I'm going to call Lizzie's Lookout. And EJ, I'll come up with something for you later. It's cold, wind's blowing. It's in the 30s. We're just trying to put miles on today, and I have a story to tell. Okay, so here's the story. We're smoking along today, if we're able to smoke along, and we come across this couple, our age or younger, maybe in the 50s, I don't know, and they're going really slow. So we exchanged pleasantries, good morning, how you doing, all this stuff. You know, commented on how cold it was, and then we blow on through. And about 1.5 miles maybe down the trail, we took a break to put some outer gear into our packs. And this gentleman comes by, white bearded gentleman. I've seen him several times on trail. And that's another story. And he starts asking questions. Is there water here? Where's the next gap? And is there a road and all this stuff? And I answer the questions because I have an app that tells us all that. I'm pretty sure he does too, but he just didn't want to look. And he goes, you know, that couple back there? And I say, yeah. She's injured. She's blew out her knee or has got a bum ankle or something, and they're averaging a quarter mile an hour. And the next gap with the road was 2.1 miles down the trail up and over Nate's Nubble back there. And so now I'm in a quandary. I just get the feeling that, you know, if I don't help somehow, when we need help, everybody's going to blow by us too, and we'll be screwed out here in the woods. And so this guy was not planning to go as far as we were today, so he is going to continue down the trail to the next shelter. It's 3-4 miles, drop off his pack, retrace steps backwards, get this woman's pack and take it down to this gap. And I'm wondering how I can help. Should I help? What's going to happen to me if I don't help? You know, all these things are going through my mind. And there's a rule on the trail out here. You know, buddy, you're on your own, right? If you can't do it, don't be here. And that's an awful harsh reality. But I'm in a quandary. I might get down to this gap and throw my stuff in a pile and retrace steps and try to help somehow. But the thing is that every minute or two you got 25-year-olds stomping through here, joking and laughing and shit, able to carry 4 times their own weight. And I really think they're the ones that should be helping out, because I'm tired. Anyway, that's the story. I'll tell you the other story later. The summit of Standing Indian Mountain. It was supposed to be clear and sunny today, but as you can see, it isn't. And it's very cold. Been cold all day. You hike along, you get sweaty. You have to shed layers so you don't get soaking wet, but you get wet anyway. And then you get up to a place like this, you have to put all your clothes back on so you don't get hypothermia or some shit. So in the background is a lake. "200 feet taller than Mount Katahdin." Well, we just had lunch at Standing Indian Mountain Shelter. This is what the shelters look like. They're a 3-sided structure. Just everybody throws down their sleeping pad and their sleeping bag, and they all huddle together in the big puppy pile and make very close friends with each other. This one has a nice overhang, so you stay out of the elements. And there's always a fire pit, but there's never a fire that I've been to. And a couple of tent sites down there, and is a privy, 2-hole privy with not much of a door. You can actually see somebody taking a dump from up here. So, hey, that's another fine amenity of a shelter. Alrighty then. So we're on this ridge, and Linda noticed the shape of the trees around here and how, she said, gnarly they are, how twisted and yeah, it's kind of weird through here. Of course, this is right on a ridge just off of Standing Indian Peak. So, you know, they get all the weather. It's almost like a Sherwood forest or something, you know, haunted. Not that Sherwood Forest was haunted. I'm sure it's a nice place, no offense to anybody that's from Sherwood Forest. Quite frankly, Stella, I don't give a shit if you're offended, but that's all right. I'm sorry. And bye-bye. Okay, so the second story concerns the gentleman with the white beard. Last Saturday, we did our second 13-mile day in a row to get to a gap so we could go to town and beat some rain. So again, we're pounding through the woods, and we come to this place where there's several people standing around. I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 6 people, and there's a guy laying on the ground, and I thought he was stretching. And it turns out he was having a kidney stone attack. And you all know how painful that is. These rocks suck. Anyway, what that group of people was doing was taking his stuff and divvying it amongst themselves. And they were packing his stuff out so that this guy could walk out to a road where an ambulance was waiting. And that tough son of a bitch did that. But anyway, the guy that was having the kidney stones had 2 traveling companions, and the gentleman with the white beard was one of them. So a lot of people helped him out that day, and I'm sure he feels obligated to return the favor. So that's part of the story of why he's willing to do what he's going to do. And that's all I got to say about that. Hey, y'all. So today was mid-50s and sunny, partly sunny. Somewhere, not here. It's been 30 and cloudy most of the day. And you oscillate between sweating like crazy when you're on one side of a mountain. So you have to strip everything off so your clothes don't get soaking wet. Or this is me anyway, right? Some people don't sweat, so. And you keep flip-flopping between that and freezing ass cold. And you gotta put all your stuff back on, gloves included, because you're on the other side of the mountain and you're going downhill. So this has been a challenging day. A little more of the story. The woman that hurt her ankle, we ran into 3 young fellas, and I told them the story about this woman, and one of those young guys dropped his stuff right there and went back and got her pack and carried it down to the gap where they're going to be picked up. So I felt good about that. They ran into us later and told us that story, and I will show you his picture. Okay, it's the end of day 8. It's about 7:20 in the evening. We're in the tent. It's very cold. It's been cold all day. It's been in the 30s. We expected 50s, but that didn't happen. So basically we've been freezing all day. Getting water is a struggle. Your hands get all cold. It's just been a challenge all day. But we're in the tent now for the night. And tomorrow's a big day. We're going to hit the 100-mile marker up on a lookout tower in North Carolina. And then the day after that, we're headed into Franklin and we're going to spend a couple nights there, try to straighten out a gear
And phone. And everything else. Pick up a box, Andy.
That's
hopefully.
right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Hopefully it got there. Love
So-
you, Nate, Elizabeth, and Evie Joe. You guys be good for your parents, okay?
All right. Love you guys. Good night.